Welcome to the planning board meeting for August 27th. Our next meeting is September 10th. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a decision for Lochran Realty, 11 Hazelwood Avenue. Anybody here for the applicant? Waive the reading. I need a motion to accept the resolution as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll begin with the work session. Sherman Properties LLC, 61 Sunset Avenue.
You're right. I
They
wasn't
weren't
checking.
sure if they were gonna make it. So I told them you guys would talk about it because it's a work session, it's got comments, and if you wanted something changed or whatever, I could give them the comments tomorrow.
Okay. Well, we've got the comments and there aren't any real objections. I mean, this is really a defensive maneuver. Try to keep the people in the 7-Eleven safe from the crazies.
Yeah, I just had a couple of things. There's a dead tree
Yeah.
between them and the Mitchell property that we told them about 2 years ago. They never did anything. And then they removed the garbage. They leave a garbage can or two up near the door because that's been overflowing our municipal garbage at the corner there at Hanson and Sunset. I think got rid of them in COVID. I don't know what happened. As long as the board's okay with that.
Well, I think that's an enforcement activity that we've really got to pay attention to and insist. This is the opportunity we have.
But having garbage on there is a site plan.
Right.
So that's something that we could make as part of this.
From what I understand, they moved those garbage pails inside because people were using them as their garbage pails from their cars. So
Because people are using them as village garbage pails.
yes,
Well, I think we should ask that the site be restored to the approved site plan. And that includes the shrubbery and the garbage cans. And if that can be conditional, I think then we could move forward.
We thought there was too many ballots.
Yes, I agree.
They have one on each parking lane line, and they have one in the middle. That seems to be too much.
Okay.
Yeah, 23 for 9 parking spaces.
They really don't want them coming in the store.
more of a Maginot line.
They're not good
So will
looking
you
ballots.
make a recommendation?
I would have one in the middle of each parking space.
Okay,
And I'd like to
What?
see them not be black.
okay.
Do we want bright orange, bright yellow?
No.
No, so what do we want then?
To match the facade of the building. They're not for
So what color?
Beige.
beige.
Maybe like a
would-
skin tone.
You know, if the parking
Paint
stalls
faces
are,
on 'em.
if the
Can't
parking
say
stalls are
that.
10 foot, you know, you have an opportunity to drive between them. So I would split in the middle and I would say 6-foot centers instead of 4-foot centers. You know, so you can't drive, so it'll catch, and even at 6-foot centers, it doesn't catch every car.
Well,
Get most of them.
but even I think most of the cars that go, and they have had to it. You know, if somebody is already in lined up parking space, wasn't somebody drove in, tried to build clean spaces. There are people that are already in the space.
When you go there late at night, there's not a lot of cars there. That's the opportunity to drive in between them. I'm just looking at it like, hey, tighten them up, you know, not 10 foot on center, but maybe 6.
You know, the width of the car is,
About,
it's a little, most of them are bigger than 6.
yeah, well, you'll catch almost all of them at 6 foot. So that's just my thoughts.
That's fine. That's still, but
So we'll give the applicant some suggestions and have them come back.
No yellow bollards.
I pointed out that, you know, they have, once they put the bollards in, they will still have the 18-foot space and more than 24 feet behind. So
Yeah.
by putting that ballard in, we haven't violated
Diminish the
the
size.
code.
Right, that's, I guess there's a bunch of little issues.
Is that it? Anybody else?
No, that's
Don?
good.
No, I think it's covered. All I was gonna say, on the north and south side of that building, there's brick walls where you might be able to let up on the distance between the barrels a little bit there. And,
Yeah.
not have as many on each end, where there's brick walls.
6 foot seems
Whereas
good to
one
me.
is probably gonna aim for the front door or the glass areas.
Yeah.
But, you know,
All the cars that are going through will go through the glass. So far.
Larry?
That's, 6 foot centers sounds good to me.
Rocco?
Yes,
We heard from you. That's enough out of you.
that's enough from me. How about Dave? He hasn't been talking.
I will defer to the collective wisdom of the board.
the bottom
All
line
right,
is
we'll
that,
leave it
you
at
know,
that. We'll allow the experts to render opinions to the applicant, and we'll revisit it. 158 Mill Road, West Hampton Beach LLC. 162 Mill Road, West Hampton Beach LLC.
162.
Please.
Chair, if I might, I'm gonna be recusing myself from this application as I'm a property owner.
Okay.
Hey, members of the board, thanks for your time tonight. My name is Brian Tiemann, and I am representing the ownership of the properties, the subject properties. In short, what our tenants are looking to do is to basically operate the way Eckert's used to operate, by putting some paint on things and making things look a little bit better, so to speak. So we're looking for a site plan waiver. We have, and you know, there's been a lot of talk, as we know in our small village. Down the road, our tenants might have ideas of other things, at which time we will come to you beforehand, discuss, and see what everyone likes. But for the time being, they'd like to just open. They have their permit application in with the Board of Trustees for outdoor seating, which includes some outdoor lighting, seasonal, and that's really all. We got your comments today, so I'd be happy to go through them with you if you would like to hear, or if you'd like written response. Just let me know how you want to handle that, and we're happy to accommodate.
I think we were clear when you got those today that we wouldn't be commenting or looking for changes
Yeah.
today, so.
Okay.
Do we have any more?
Bryn, do you want to start off?
She can, she recused
Britain?
herself.
No.
Oh, you were- Okay. How about Brad?
Yeah, so the comments we just gave out this morning, it's really just, fence, the dumpster enclosure, some changing of vegetation. We should have an accessible parking spot if we can make that happen. There's really not changes to the site, but we should have a workable plan, just to, bless what they've done so far. And my one big question is that shed in the back.
Yeah, I can address all those things. One is, Brad, we got the note about site plan versus survey marked up, so we'll get that taken care of. We'll get it formalized as a site plan overlay, so to speak. The handicap accessibility question on that would, Brad, you and I were at the site. Would like a concrete pad be the most logical thing for the first parking spot area that can get directly to the front door?
Yes,
All right.
typically concrete or asphalt, you wanna lock in a spot, the aisle, so where if someone needs the accessible spot, they can get in, they're not on gravel.
Sure.
It's not gonna meet the requirements under accessibility.
From either side of the car, probably, right? Yeah. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. So with the board's permission, we would want to rectify that with a pad. We'll look into what material would be best for it.
There is a handicap spot right in front of the building.
On the road.
Yeah.
That doesn't,
Okay.
that doesn't count for it.
Do you have a way to differentiate all the parking spaces?
So it's a good question, Ron. So the funny thing is, we're calling it a parking lot, but it's really only a cleared space on a vacant property that has been defaulted to a parking lot. So I'm not really sure how it should be handled.
That was really good. Take notes, Jim.
How do I see the picture of a duck and I hear the quacking of a duck?
So I'm putting that out there because we want to handle it however the village wants to handle
Well,
it. So,
just put away, you know, those concrete bumpers between the job, because if it's staying gravel, they kind of help define spaces off. You know, that's just that concrete things you make up.
sure,
6 feet. 8 feet,
the curbs,
something
yeah.
like that. The application is, you're just reoccupying the old business
Yeah.
with the same seating, there's no change of use, so. Normally, you wouldn't be before the board, but you've made some changes outside. And one of the things you talked about was lighting for your seasonal dining inside.
Mhm.
That may require a lighting plan.
A lighting what?
Lighting plan. We have to make sure that the light doesn't spill into adjacent properties. So typically, you get a photogrammetric plan. I don't know if you're gonna, if that's the lighting you're gonna put in, and it's just for that seasonal, you need some, now, if you, I wouldn't think you need it, you just stringing up some bulbs, and you're not putting in a, you know, a real fixture or.
Spotlights or
something.
anything?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have to be real careful that you don't spill your light onto adjacent properties.
Would
So
that be
we'll
under
need
the
it
purview of
defined
the,
one way or the other. It's got to be defined.
Yeah.
that's under the purview of the Board of Trustees though, right?
Yeah, so the trustees have been handling the temporary outdoor seating, and they will entertain some more temporary lighting schemes. They have done that in the past, so I assume they'll do that on this one. If the trustees have a problem with that or an issue with that, they could kick it back to this board, but I think we should save that for the trustees.
There's no
it's
permanent lighting
temporary
on this?
So you're not adding any permanent lighting.
No, not permanent, no. Not at this point, no.
The problem with, on the dumpster, is you submit a dumpster detail.
Dumpster detail. Sure. So the third thing that Brad had brought up that I wanted to address is the shed. The shed has been improved and fixed up. It was falling down, doors were missing, etc. Maybe down the road, we'd love to talk to you about maybe some sort of use of it, but at this point, we're not looking for any permission of use of it or use of it at all. We want to keep the outside the way it was when Eckert's was there. I don't know how we need to handle the shed going forward, but for all intents and purposes, it's structurally sound now and not intended to be used.
Yeah, so I would notate as such on the site plan.
Okay.
On this site plan. Again, you didn't make any changes, so no one's stopping you from opening and operating Eckert's as normal, so there's no clock on this. But just on the site plan that we reference, just mark out like shed, remain a shed not to be used,
Okay.
or just
Yeah.
shed only, something.
For
something along-
storage only, maybe?
Something along the line, so you know when you look at that site plan, that was for something in the future.
Sure. Okay.
With that lighting, don't show the lighting on the site plan you're submitting to us.
Okay.
Just put it on the application for the trustees as temporary.
It is on that application already and noted about this application.
You can look this.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, a little cleaning up and we'll see you again, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't think, do we have to see him again?
Yeah, I mean, if we're all happy with we're envisioning the next plan we're happy with, because there's not a lot of changes. And if we bless it, then you don't have to see
Well,
it.
I think we can rely on you to handle that.
As chairman, I'd like to move forward. I think it's a good business. I've been in the Spionk operation. It's outstanding. And I did go by the site today, and I did see that shed, that nice looking shed you have in that northwest corner. of the property. in the
I wanna
back.
rent it for the summer.
And,
I-
and, and in terms of the lighting, although it's not in our wheelhouse, it's with the trustees, it's lighting that's not gonna affect anyone, because there's no residential area. There's no
Well,
residence
to
there.
that point, Don,
It's temporary.
unlike the seasonal seating on Main Street and closer to the downtown area, you are abutting or getting reasonably close to the residential properties.
Yeah,
and
pretty
it's
close.
Not in front of it on the street, it's behind the building. And what some of us on this end of town have experienced with the movie theaters morphing nightclub slash bar, west, whatever it is, it's run pretty late at night. There has been some, concerns and some unhappiness.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying that's what you're going to do. I'm just saying to the extent that that gets brought up with the trustees, with the lighting, hours of operation, noise abatement, music, that kind of thing. Just wanted to have those concerns raised at least.
I
Are you
also
se-
think.
Are you 7 days a week or 5 days a week?
I think we'll probably start at 7.
Okay.
And maybe in the off season, we'll kind of shrink back a little bit.
And to your point, Dave, additionally, I think one of the comments in the report from you guys was talking about optional rear yard landscape buffer, which I think could be a good thing to discuss for the benefit of residential,
Like I said, if you're going to be stringing those lights that you get at Home Depot, that's one thing.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's more of a noise issue, amplified music.
Yeah, I agree.
These things do tend to happen. Nobody's really thinking about it. It's just like, oh, let's do that. That
Yeah.
seems like a good idea.
This isn't gonna be Scarlett's front yard though, right?
What are
Not
the
Scarlett's.
hours, what are the hours of operation?
Hours of operation?
I think it's not going to be late night like the
That-
movie
that's-
theater
Mhm.
or One Trick Pony. Whether it's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, but it's not going to be 2 o'clock. I can promise you that. 'Cause
All right.
I'm not staying up.
Sounds like I'm in bed.
So it's not gonna
Good
be
to have a working
uh,
partner, huh?
it's not gonna be just a breakfast place anymore.
No.
We're going to do dinners.
Okay.
I'll still go to your Spionk
All right,
location.
please do. Yeah, I'm a little worried about it.
Hopefully there'll be some more seats now in Spionk.
Yeah.
Larry, any input?
No, looking forward to seeing it all built.
Dave?
Other than what I've stated, no.
I said my piece.
Okay,
Thank you all.
all right, thank you. West Hampton Performing Arts Center, 76 Main Street.
Good evening for the applicant, James N. Hume, 323 Mill Road, West Hampton Beach, and we have Julianne, the executive director, and our architectural support. I've been to so many of these meetings about this, I've kind of forgotten what we've told to who, but just real simply, we're looking to remove some existing structures from the plan, from the site, and provide an 8,900 square foot addition to the back of the property, and some pretty extensive renovation internally, mainly with the goal of creating more seating, so that for the same ticket price, we'll have more revenue, so that we can afford to bring in bigger names and larger groups of people. Is really what we're about. We're just this is on a work session, so we're not even public hearing stage yet. I think because of the size of the building, I know because of the size of the building, we've filed a special permit application to the trustees because it exceeds the code limit for square footage. And we met with them last week, and had a brief discussion with them about this project. And we're here to get this project moving with you guys as well. I think the big issue here is the initial issue here will be SECRA, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know where you want to go from here, but we're happy to discuss any aspect.
We've given some thought to SECRA on this, and the trustee, the real big issue in this is going to be parking and the impact on parking. That's the big issue. And right now, the trustees are revamping, there's a parking moratorium, and the trustees are revamping the parking code. And what we're contemplating is that the trustees will end up taking jurisdiction over parking. We're not gonna call them variances anymore. They're gonna be parking special permits. That's what's being contemplated. At least for the downtown area, because that's the area where it's municipal parking and the impacts are gonna be on the municipality as a whole, as opposed to any individual site. So, at least our initial thought, Brad and I talking about it, is that the trustees really are likely to be the lead agency on this. Because of all the work they're working on as far as the new parking plan for the downtown area. So, and I don't think we've seen anything quite like this in terms of the size of like a variance application for parking, but they'll figure out how to handle it, and the new code will contemplate how to handle it. So most likely it's going to make more sense for them to be lead agency on this.
As much as I love seeing you guys, and we'll be able to see you anyway.
Doesn't mean you won't.
I agree. I agree with council's analysis. I think the overriding issue here is the parking, and that's in the trustees' hands, both because of the special permit and because of the change of the law. So I think that makes a lot of sense to put the lead agency there as opposed to here.
Don,
What's that?
Don, why don't you start?
I just
Well,
have a, I have
Let's
a-
get the experts
I
out of the
need,
way.
I just need,
Wait,
okay.
wait. Who'd like to go first? There we go.
Obviously broad strokes. I would love to see the facade easement. I'd like to see what that protected.
Mhm.
Because you are proposing this sort of massing behind the facade, which is, I wrote in my memo, it's a very iconic east end of Long Island, very important facade. So
Mhm.
obviously you protected it.
Yep.
We'd love to see that. I'd love to see that.
Sure.
I haven't seen it, and see if, it's in keeping to add something of that magnitude
Mhm.
over it. And then I just sort of said, it's a very large, it's a 65% increase in occupancy. So I think you should probably provide some data points that show we refuse 500 tickets, or we have this, year-round demand, or some sort of operational numbers that say we need to,
Gonna need the seats for the NBA games.
yeah.
Yes.
And,
Why, the
and
Knicks are going to repeat again? Is that
there's a big, new portion that looks like a kind of like a dance floor. Is this because you're moving towards more of a concert? Like a, just some more narrative. We
Mhm.
understand, we all have seen you operate, and but I think it'd be helpful to have a more detailed statement on, we're
Sure.
all supportive, but we just need
Sure.
to understand. what we're
We
doing.
could certainly provide the facade easement. There's several other levels of protection for that. One is that because of that easement, we're right now have an application pending before the Historic Board, Landmarks Board for the town. And because they need to approve this project because of the terms of the easement. And one of the conditions that they've imposed is a letter from the CPF people who provided the funds pursuant to the easement to confirm that what we're proposing is within the scope of what we agreed to in that easement. But we'll be happy to provide a copy of the easement itself
So you have
directly.
to actually get Landmarks approval,
Yes.
not just advisory
No, we need to get a certificate of
of appropriateness.
appropriateness.
So
That's great.
should they be an involved agency? I mean, that's the first time I'm hearing that. So
100%.
they should be an involved agency for secret purposes,
Right.
right?
I agree.
Landmarks.
Landmarks and
Ta-
historic
Town,
preservation.
Southampton
Southampton.
Town
town.
of Southampton.
LHD.
It's interesting.
And then just, as you evolve along the process, more of a site planning issue, which it's too soon to say, you're removing these 2-story structures that kind of have open space around them. I think we might want to look at the north side of the property and how we can preserve some of that residential character. And, because obviously the 2-story massing, it's driven by the use. But I think we may need to soften that massing if we have the opportunity, if we're removing, 4 buildings in total.
Yep.
But those are just sort of general broad.
Sure, understood.
comments.
Understood.
Just
the
not
north
much
end.
in the way of the site plan information provided. You know, typical stuff, your dumpsters, your
Yep.
drainage. You're gonna, because there's so much extensive renovation, you're gonna have to provide the rolling stones. Leave the existing building is dumping into the village drain system. That wouldn't be allowed now. So you're gonna have to.
Even at night, when the lights are off, we can't do that. No, sorry.
And there's,
Only if
there's
the
a
pump's
lighting,
quiet.
Right.
and there's a lighting plan. But right now, and I'm not sure of the level of detail the site plan is. I think it's probably appropriate now, because it's so early, you have to find out, you know, where everybody's going with the parking, which is the
Major piece
thing.
of this,
I
yes.
don't know if it pays to start spending money on site plan details. Parking is obviously a big nut. And that's gonna be decided. by the
We could
DOT.
stick to conceptual for now. I mean, it makes the most sense for secret purposes to stay conceptual and not get into the fine engineering stuff yet until the real broad strokes are worked out.
Yep, I agree.
You don't have to spend money on
Okay.
that yet.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's no point until you know it's gonna move ahead
Yeah.
on the big issue.
Brad?
Yeah, so obviously we want to maximize parking, so not having a buffer to the north means some sort of cross-access offering, which is prudent anyway. And then, if the trustees are gonna be handling parking, as we talked about with the special criteria that we adopted, your lot coverage, building area lot coverage proposed at 51%, where 50 is the code. I mean, you can cut out a whole zoning board involvement by reducing that to 50%. You know how it is with the zoning board. You know, when you ask for very little, it's like, just give it to me. It's very little, but if you're the board, it's like, well, why do you need it? So,
Mhm. Understood.
I don't
We'll
know,
talk
for
about
me,
that.
I would make that a lot easier by getting
We
rid
do
of
the
one.
arithmetic at a minimum.
Sure.
And yeah, Britton mentioned the facade to the north, but on Sunset, if there's some sort of architectural detail, some sort of relief, some sort of awning, some sort of large greenery, right now, you all see it as it is, but that's gonna be even more
Mhm.
based on this
Mhm.
plan, so.
Even like faux eaves or something to break that mass.
Yeah, we can't rely on Rio del Ben to run into the back of the building anymore to provide contrasts, but we will obviously take a look at that.
Maybe a drive-in movie in that back lot there.
That's an idea. Requires a whole bunch more parking, but
Don?
Yeah, just 2 minutes. First of all, congratulations on the grant money. I know you probably worked hard on that. Been involved with that with nonprofits, and it's a lot of paperwork, and it's more of a problem getting paid as you go along. You'll see that though. I have 2 things. I just want to ask you on your demolitions. Is this beautiful home of Sunset being demolished?
Yep.
Where the gate is?
yes,
It is.
yes.
Okay,
Would you
I
like the
just want
house?
to hand this to my planning board members, although it's out of our wheelhouse possibly.
If you have someplace to put it,
One,
we're happy
one
to
for the record.
donate it.
No, unless you want to move it.
We
We
don't.
don't move houses anymore.
No, okay.
My other question is, when this first hit the papers, I think in March or April, we talked about profit margin on tickets.
Mhm.
And there's a big concern here. I represent the village taxpayers, of course, on this
Mhm.
board. And there's a major problem with tickets where we can go to the board, the ticket booth Wednesday to Sunday, but when you go online, you get stuck with all these brokers that are charging 75% higher. How does the brokerage work? Do you get a piece of that action?
No, not at all.
Can you avoid them?
No,
You can't avoid them.
no, they can, anybody can purchase tickets
Wow.
from the theater.
Wow.
So we have a lot of safeguards in place to try to prevent against fraud because, you know, there's third-party ticket sellers who just buy them
Yeah.
up and resell them in an unfortunately legal
Okay.
way. But then there are some that are selling fraudulently and it's a mess. And, you know,
Okay.
New York State, the Attorney General, I know, is trying to crack down on it. Across the country, everybody's trying to crack down on it, but it's really
Just
an
to
issue.
make myself clear, I represent the taxpayers of the village of West Hampton Beach. And I think you might want to consider an idea where village residents could get a little more of a discount on the tickets for some events.
I think with increased capacity, that's very possible.
Okay, very good. That's all I have, Chairman.
Larry?
Yeah, my only concern would be the north and the west facade. Looking straight off in the front, you gotta get a mile back to be able to see what's being proposed up on the roof, so, that's my only concern. I think the four square house that's in the rear is a nice old house. It's not an architectural gem, I would say, but, and the barber shop. And, Historical Society's got the barber pole. So I don't know if that
You
means.
could have a nice building.
But the inside of that
Maybe
building
we can get some
has been
grants for
completely
that.
Yeah,
renovated over time, so that it's an office. It's not, there's no remnants of the barber shop or Ria's presence there
Right.
in the house any longer.
It's a nice house.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. It's,
They're pulling down nicer ones.
they have.
They're bulldozing them every
Yeah.
day. That's what we do in West Hampton.
Well, hopefully in return, we're providing a benefit that,
This would be the rare
Serves-
occasion.
yeah, that benefits the village.
Mr. Riley?
I just have to channel my inner Paul Houlihan here.
No, you
It is
don't.
what it is.
From, I didn't believe me, I know this is 3 decades in the past, but my recollection of the whole preservation movement was to preserve the small town feel of a movie theater. To just, have that kind of venue preserved. And if we do this, I think that defeats the purpose.
You'd want the NBA there.
It's just, it's just, that's what it was designed. That's why it was preserved the way it was preserved. As Julian knows, I've spent most of the last decade there, and, I enjoyed every time I was there because of the way it was laid out. And, I could show my kids what it was like when I used to go watch movies there, and it was a continuation thing. And I just think the way it is part of the community. And I would just hate to lose that.
Yeah, I understand, and I'm sorry, I don't know what to say this, but, and Dave, you know how much I
Yeah.
love this theater. I've been there for
Yes, I
18
know.
years, but one thing I've learned in 18 years, and especially since COVID, is I don't mean to sound doomsday about it, but I don't think the theater will be able to sustain at 425 seats. And if I thought it could, believe me, I believe in the intimate nature of the auditorium. I love that it's a conversation between artists, but I know John's going to speak to this in a second. We have done everything we can in the design to retain the intimacy of the theater. That's so important, but we need to have more seats. The cost of acts, we want to bring in high quality, world class. In 2011, 12, 13, you probably all remember, we had Blondie, the B-52s, Cyndi Lauper. I mean, these were huge names that are completely out of our reach now. And even if we can get the marquee name artists, the tickets are so wildly expensive, and we're not going to be able to sustain. We're facing ticket price resistance. People don't want to pay more than $150 per ticket, understandably so in the economic times we're in. And so I think, again, with community in mind, I think we have to do everything we can to preserve the history and the intimacy of the room. But I think we really have to think in terms of how this theater is going to exist for the next generations to come. John, do you want to speak to just the preservation?
Yes. John Rose, architect. One of our specialties is historic preservation work. We do a lot of landmark work, and as a kid, I also attended that theater. I recognize how important it is, and the state and obviously will make us preserve it, but it's really important that when this is all done and it's all put back together, from the inside, you really won't feel much of a difference. Yeah, the stage is getting bigger, but the fabrics, the seating style, the general layout is remaining the same. The front entrance will not be, it'll be repaired where it's falling apart a little bit, but it's going to stay exactly the same. You won't be able to see the lion's share of the work until you turn the corner. As you know, there's a building on the corner that hides everything but the front of the building. That won't change from Main Street. You won't be able to see what we're doing from Main Street. You got to go around the back. So I get it. You're right. It's a really special place and it's going to stay that way.
Well, we'd be able to get the circus back.
The Zope? Sure.
That's all it takes.
Rocco?
You know, I listened to what Dave said, and I'm just thinking about how much change we've seen in the village. You know, in the last 10 years, how many different buildings have come in and knocked, you know, the structures have been knocked down. And I think the expansion is you know, also to keep it alive economically, I think the expansion is justified. Right? I think in the process of trying to figure it out, I think the elephant in the corner is the parking. And just my thoughts as a contractor, I'd want to figure that out before I burned a lot of money moving forward.
Well,
That's my
that's
thoughts on that.
Top of the list.
Yeah,
What we're working on.
because I mean, you
but,
can go all the way and then the parking falls apart,
Yeah, no,
or there's issues, and
we're certainly aware. We're
so that's,
working with the trustees and with,
yeah, I'm
professionals
sure
to-
architecturally you'll bring it in line.
You don't have a choice.
Well, exactly, don't have a choice,
Mhm.
but so that's my thoughts. That's what I'm thinking.
Thank you,
appreciate
Rocco.
that. Thank you.
Aaron, do you want to make some comments? Are you here for this application?
Spectator.
Jeff, do you know how many seats the theater originally had before you did this?
Off the top of my head, no, but in my records, since I've been involved since the very first shovel, I think I could find that out.
You know, it's not, it's just my curiosity.
Yeah, no, we can find that out.
Well, I think this is really going to wind up in the lap of the trustees more than the planning board for the immediate future, so I don't know when we'll be seeing you again. So, and I don't think you have a direction that you need to go into at this moment in order to proceed the path you need to go down, so. I don't really think this board has any more significant comments than you've heard.
Other than I think you need to say that you choose not to be lead agency.
Well, we'll get that start. We got to get the process started with the
Mhm.
trustees, and I
We
think they'll
have to-
probably do that at the next meeting. So it's a couple weeks, right?
Don?
There's also, and Britton would know, there's a holdover on the property north of the rear of the theater right now. Am I correct, Britton?
Yep.
There's a holdover right after, because they want to do something there also.
There's a lot
I
of
don't know if
development going on. in
You
the
know
village,
about
I
that or
agree.
not, Jim, but there's.
Yes, oh no, I'm
Yeah.
fully aware, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not representing them, but,
but.
pardon me?
What
If you
effect-
buy it and put a lot of parking there.
What effect it has on you or them, I'm not sure, but
Next Thursday, the trustees, it's gonna be on the agenda to circulate or solicit for lead agency and ensure circulation, so.
Is that next week?
Yeah,
First Thursday? Oh my God.
Oh,
It's
sorry,
September.
Wednesday,
It's all
next
Wednesdays,
Wednesday.
right?
Yes, good job.
It's September already.
Yes, I just.
Valet parking.
Do we need to do anything for that? Do we need to come? Do
No,
we
I
need
don't.
to-
I think the mayor already knows, we were talking about the verbiage agenda. So we don't really need anything from this board. I think next, first meeting September, we can just mention that.
There's so many involved agencies that we have to send out.
No, sure.
You know, we're not going to get like an individual waiver here and there and speed up the process. So we just
Understood.
have to go through that process. And
Okay. Well, we will see you at some point, and we
Look forward to it. Thank you.
working with you on this
Nice
project.
seeing you, John.
Thank
And
you
I
for
would
your time.
just like to say, I really do appreciate and take all the comments to heart, so thank you for the feedback.
Thank you. Okey dokey, we're going to engage in a secret discussion regarding 220 Dune Road.
yeah, so I can report back. We told you we would address it with the zoning board. They have no problem deferring to the planning board to be lead agency. So I think with your polling of the board last time, what we could probably use would be just a resolution instructing staff to get that process started, to let the involved agencies know that you're electing to, or requesting to proceed as lead agency and identifying them as involved agencies. So if you want to do that resolution, we'll get the process started.
Well, I don't know, do we want to do that resolution tonight? My thought was, speaking for myself, the secret pool is a deep one. And what I did is I went to NICOM for the training material that they do for planning boards and zoning boards. And I bought the training session. And what I would like to do is give that to each member of the planning board and anybody else who's interested, so that we all have a better understanding of the secret process and the steps involved before we start a clock.
You have to start the clock. So when they file an application, there's a requirement that you begin the process as early as possible. And so we can't just drag out the beginning. All you would
Well,
be
we're
doing.
talking 2 weeks.
Yeah, but it's already been several. They
Well,
started
that wasn't
this.
our doing, that was,
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that they're entitled to have it move along. All we would be doing today is sending out notices that then it just starts a 30-day process for other agencies to object or not to you being lead agency. That's all. It's as innocuous a step as there is, and there's really I can't say there's any reason not to do it. Unless you don't want it anymore. I mean, if you change your mind about
I don't
being
know.
lead
If
agency.
he's asking for a delay, doesn't mean he doesn't want it.
I'm not even
No,
asking
but-
for a delay, I'm asking for a period to gather information. So,
We will have that. I promise you there's going to be ample period to gather information. But we got to get you started as lead agency, and that's going to it takes 30 days just to get to that ability for you to even say we are now lead agency. All you'd be saying is we want to be lead agency. That's it. So, and I'm happy to be involved and walk you through this process, and we're going to take our time. We're not going to rush this process. I promise you, but we at least have to give them a lead agency because they are entitled to that.
anybody want to make any comments?
There is another referral later on when you all feel like the plan is in a position for another referral. This is the initial referral to Bob. It's 2 referrals. But what I'm hearing is like you want to make sure you have boards ready to go, you have the information. This is really like
I want the board members to understand the process. Because it's not a simple process. This isn't like neg deck world, where you're just going, "Well, it's a house, down the block." This is a little more gravity to it than, our normal secret process here.
So you essentially have 30 days, because nothing's gonna happen once.
Nothing can happen.
Nothing can happen. So it's like 30 days and nothing happened. You're really just declaring yourself lead agency to the other lead agency. You'll get letters back, and almost all of those letters, I guarantee every one of those letters is like, you can have it.
So if you want, between like one of the meetings in September, we could set aside to have just
Well, I
a
expect to have that
complete.
training material in my hands tomorrow, actually.
No, but
And
after
I
you
have
have
no
that,
problem
you
distributing
could
that.
distribute it, and then we could have a session just to talk about the process. That's all. I mean, doesn't even have to be specific to this application only, but just to
Yes.
kind of have a primer and a refresher on the process that you should expect.
I'd like to do that.
So we could do that. The other thing I want to tell you is that when I had the discussion with the zoning board about it, they all said they want to still be involved since they have a very big decision to make. And one of the things that I told them we could set up when the time comes, this is not next month and probably not the next month, but at some point would be a joint work session where they can come, and since you're the lead agency, they can come as a board, not just as one person or two people, but we can advertise it as a joint work session where you can hear their concerns about things that they would want you as lead agency to be looking at for their benefit, because that's the responsibility of the lead agency, is to gather the information that all the other agencies need to make their decision. And so I thought it would be a nice thing to have
Yeah.
possibly a joint work session. We've done it once before with when the trustees were involved in an application with you, I think, and we had the two boards. I can't remember what it was for. It might have been
think
the
it
old
was the condo.
CVS or something like that, but it was something where we did that and advertised the meeting, and I think it's a nice thing to do on an important application like this.
We get pizza too.
We can do that.
Pepperoni on.
Rocco, do you have any comments on this?
Jim can even have some pizza while he's here.
Not yet, but I do want to see, I do want to review the secret. So you said you went,
I'll distribute the information.
yeah,
I-
definitely.
We've all been attending Nikon training
Yeah.
events, I would assume. This one goes back to 2023. Wade, who teaches those courses, really does a phenomenal job. And as I recall that training session, he did a phenomenal job on it. So I contacted Nikon today, and hopefully I can have that information distributed. They said
Also,
24
Is
hours.
this gonna be like an online class like we've been doing?
It'll be a video. It'll be like a YouTube.
So we can go, stop, start,
Yep.
look at it.
No
I'd really like to-
interaction, just. a
No
video.
interaction, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just keep in mind too, that the DEC's website, it actually has some really good resources as well. They have like different levels of, kind of like an introductory level.
Well, they have
A little bit,
YouTube,
a handbook. They have something called the Secret Handbook, which is a Q&A style, but in pretty good detail. And then they have the regulations and more technical stuff. But, after you've done the Nikon thing, it's a great resource to, you have a question and I'm not available to answer it.
Yeah.
You'll typically be able to find that answer on the DEC's website, especially that Secret Handbook, which is, I
Yeah.
still look at it sometimes when
It's a big handbook.
they've spent decades working on it and
Well, we're
refining
gonna
it.
fix that now.
and
Governor
refining
Hochul's
it,
gonna
so,
fix that.
So I'll make sure you have all the resources you need.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Tony.
great.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
It's up to you.
My opinion hasn't changed. I don't think we should be lead agency.
I can't hear you, Dave. I'm sorry.
I don't think we should be lead agency. My opinion hasn't changed.
We've
Larry, you any comments?
No, ready to go. Let's have a look at all your
We've
stuff.
already voted to be lead agency.
That ship sailed. Dave wasn't on the boat that day.
Somebody let the air out of my tires.
All right then, so I guess we'll adopt, I need a resolution then? Can I make a
Just
resolution?
it's sort of informal, just to let the staff know that we can
So
start
this-
the process for you.
So predicated on the polling that we did and the actions we've taken this evening, the planning board of the Village of West Hampton Beach is extending itself to be lead agency if we're so honored in the future.
There you go. I like that.
I respectfully dissent.
It is an honor, right?
You're being dragged along.
Okay.
Tick, tick, tick.
I need a motion for that.
Nah, we don't need a
No?
motion.
I second the motion.
All right.
All
You
in
can have a
favor?
motion.
We got
Hey.
it. We're done.
Lisa didn't have-
Robert's
Nah,
rules.
it's not.
Kicking and
I just,
screaming right
Robert's
down
rules.
the stairs.
Thank you. No?
we just
Thank
need
you.
instruction, that's all. It's not, there's nothing formal about it yet. It'll be
Yeah,
formal
listen,
at
you
the,
gotta fight
at the
tide once
meeting
in a while,
when
you know?
4, 1, 3, 2.
Let her
they
run
actually
and
adopt
don't get
lead
in trouble.
agency status. So
Well, they just signed
it'll
the
be
book,
at
so
that meeting that we need it
screw them all.
formalized.
Thank you, Tony.
No, you're on the boat now.
All righty. then.
Yet, you haven't
Minutes,
been
right?
adjourned yet.
Get it.
I need a motion.
I
to
saw
adjourn.
your
No,
PCA
we
name.
adopt
Well,
this
it was
each
good the way
motion.
you presented that to the PCA. It was nice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have minutes from August 13th. I need a resolution to accept the minutes as written.
How you going with it?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay.
Okay.
Change my
Okay,
response.
and, that's it. Need a motion to close?
Make the motion.
Okay. Anything
Now
you
you
want to
can-
talk about for next meeting?